Hey y'all, so in today's video I'm going to be doing a wardrobe styling challenge. I'm so excited about it. It's a little project that's designed to help you get back in touch with your own closet, to revisit the things that you already own, maybe find some new ways of putting things together, and just to remind yourself of how versatile the things are that you already have in your own closet. It's called the 10 by 10 Style Challenge. You take 10 garments and use them to create looks for 10 days. And it was created by a blogger. The blog is called Style Bee, and I will link that down below, and I'll definitely link the page that introduced the 10 by 10 challenge. It seems to have really taken off. I've seen a lot of people doing it on Instagram, and I've also seen some YouTube videos of it. So I'm going to take you through the 10 garments that I chose, and I'm going to show you a little lookbook of all of the outfits that I put together with those garments. A lot of my garments are secondhand, and a lot of them are things that I've owned for a really long time, and many of them are both. Many of them are things that I purchased secondhand like over a decade ago, and they're still going strong. So of course I will link. I feel like Sadie's going bananas back there. Come here. Hi. So of course I will link everything I can, and I will also poke around and try to find some comparable items to link for the things that I own but that you can no longer buy, like things that aren't on the market. I think that Sadie was in the chimney. Look at her dirty little whiskers. But the point of this challenge isn't for me to recommend things for you to go out and buy. The point of it is for me to help you think outside the box in terms of styling things that you already own, things that are already in your closet. And by the same token, my hope is that even if you look really different from me, different height, different body type, different size, different coloring, my hope is that many of the takeaways will still apply. You might not make the exact same garment choices that I'm making, but you can make use of many of the same ideas. And I will revisit those ideas at the end after you've seen the garments and seen the lookbook. If this is your first time to my channel, hi, I'm Hannah. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm glad that you're here. I love beautiful things, but I don't love overspending. I don't love it for me, so I'm trying to keep a balance in my life, and I also don't love it for you, so I try to keep a balance here on my channel. If that kind of balanced content sounds good to you, I hope you'll subscribe. Now let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. I feel like I need to say up front that I decided to go for fall style. I wanted to style like fall outfits and transitional outfits because in most of the United States, basically it's fall. It's already quite cold in a lot of places actually. Here in Los Angeles, it's still really hot. Like I'm actually a little bit hot just in this unlined lace blouse that I'm wearing right now to film this video. So I'm doing this for this video just as an exercise. I'm not going to be able to wear every single one of these outfits over the next 10 days. But it did make me really excited about wearing all of these outfits when it does finally cool off a little bit here. And many of the outfits that I'm going to be showing you are outfits that I will be able to wear. So I really focused on transitional dressing. I really wanted it to be 10 garments that would make a super versatile wardrobe for this season when the weather tends to be fluctuating quite a lot, even within the space of 10 days. I also decided to exclude shoes from my 10 garments. The project as written by Style Bee is pretty flexible in terms of what your rules are. So some people, when they do this, they include shoes. So they might take 8 garments and 2 pairs of shoes and just count the shoes towards the 10. Some people don't count outerwear, but they do count shoes. I decided to count outerwear. So one of my garments is a jacket, and that's the only outerwear that I'm allowed for styling my 10 outfits. But I decided not to count shoes, and I also decided not to count other accessories like scarves and bags. So in the lookbook, you'll see that I finished each of my looks with one of 3 handbags, one of 6 pairs of shoes that I was rotating among, and I also had a scarf that I made use of a little bit and a pair of tights. I'm not going to talk through each one of those things in the video. I'm just going to talk through my 10 garments in detail, but I will link all of those things in the description box if I can. So the first garment that I picked for my little 10 garment wardrobe is a cream colored linen dress. This dress is by Orvis, which I believe is like a fishing wear brand, just like an outerwear brand that at some point in its history made dresses like this. I don't think that they still make these kinds of dresses. It's definitely a vintage piece, and I purchased it at a secondhand shop. I believe it was the Salvation Army in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I think it was only like $5. It was a real score. I've washed it a bunch of times. It's held up beautifully. It's 100% linen. It's this beautiful cream color. I find it to be very comfortable and versatile. The second garment in my wardrobe of 10 is a very lightweight crinkle cotton blouse from the brand English Factory. It's got this ruffle styling on the shoulders and a plaid print. It's a beautiful silhouette, but a very, very casual fabric, and I like that about it. I find it easy to wear, but it's pretty high impact in terms of what it does for an outfit. I love a blouse that looks a little bit formal, but that I can totally sweat into, and it won't show the sweat stains, and it also won't ruin the fabric, and it also isn't difficult to clean. And this one checks all of those boxes. The third garment in my project is also a blouse, and it kind of checks all of those same boxes, although it's really oversized on me, so it's more slouchy. But because the fabric is so lightweight and semi-sheer, I feel like it balances out the fact that it's oversized. It's by a brand called Pas de Calais, which I've never actually even really heard of, except for on the tag for this blouse. I purchased this at a designer consignment shop years ago. I really like this aesthetic of a soft, floaty, oversized, semi-sheer white shirt with the romantic detailing of these crushed ruffles. I find that it's very versatile. Depending on what you pair it with, it can be the star of the show. It can really set the tone for an outfit, or it can be something that complements another piece that's the star of the show. If you don't have anything quite like this in your wardrobe, but you want to experiment with the same effect, any oversized white shirt will do, especially if it's an oversized white button down. So the next piece is a bright pop of orange. I love this color as an accent in a neutral outfit or in a neutral wardrobe. And this is a little bit newer of a piece. It's several seasons old for me. I bought it last year, but it's by the brand COS, and I believe that this is one of the designs that they bring back season after season. So I should be able to link this down below. It's a very lightweight, stretchy merino wool turtleneck. It washes and wears beautifully. I love this piece from COS. The next piece is also from COS, but I think that it's something like 3 or 4 years old. So I'm not sure I'll be able to link this exact piece, but again, this is the kind of silhouette that they do a lot of. This is a felt top. So it's not quite a sweater, but it's not quite a shirt. It is a little bit warm, and it does have that beautiful kind of clean silhouette, but also slouchy, that I love so much. I find this one really easy to pair with all manner of dresses and skirts and pants. This next piece is a very, very old sweater of mine. It's actually from H&M, but it's held up really well over the years. I've washed it a ton of times, and remarkably, it hasn't pilled. There's just something about the combination of the fabric. I believe it's some kind of acrylic wool angora blend. Something about it has really held its own and held its shape. This is the classic slouchy oversized sweater. I'm sure that I won't be able to link this exact one because it's from so many years ago, but I'll be able to find plenty of things that are similar to it that I can put links for down below. The next thing in my 10 by 10 is a pair of beautiful pants from the brand Bastet Noir. These actually were sent to me recently. It's one of the most beautiful things that's ever been sent to me in all of the 3 years that I've been on YouTube, and they were custom made for me. They asked for my measurements, which is what Bastet Noir does. I really love that about them because it cuts down on waste. They make everything to order, so they're not overproducing and then having to throw things out if they don't sell, and it also makes them very size versatile. They can make these pants to measure no matter what your measurements are. I'm really glad that I included these pants in my 10 by 10 project because it gave me the opportunity to get to know them better. I just haven't had that many occasions on which to wear them because of the pandemic. I've worn them around the house a little bit, but I know that I would have worn them more by now, and I would have gotten to know them better and styled them more frequently if there weren't a global pandemic and if I was like out and about and going to events and stuff like that. So this kind of gave me that chance. I kind of got to see how they'll work with other things in the future. And I feel like this is something that's just going to be endlessly perfect in my wardrobe. They're going to last for a really, really long time for me. So this next thing, this skirt, is kind of a wild card in pretty much every way. It's kind of a wild card visually. It's like the most romantic and dramatic thing, and it's got this print, but it's also a wild card because I didn't buy this skirt. I actually made it. So this is a fabric. It's like a lightweight crepe de chine silk fabric that I had in my shop for a while back when my job was making clothes for people who dance Argentine tango. I had that small business for a while, and every once in a while a fabric would come into the shop that I would just really, really want to make something out of for me to keep. This is what I made, flowy silk skirts, so I wouldn't have been able to take this and make like a tailored blouse because that's not what I made for my business and I don't really know how to do that kind of thing. But I do know how to make flowy, swirly, exciting skirts because that was what I was selling. So I went ahead and made one for myself and kept it in my wardrobe, and I decided to include it in this 10 by 10. The next garment is my pair of Agold jeans. They're the 90s high-rise slouchy. I can't remember the exact name, but I'll put it in the description box down below. These are incredibly versatile. I love these jeans, and as you'll see, they do a lot for an outfit. They go with a lot of things. And the last garment is this little leather jacket with the super long scrunchy arms that I got at the ALC sample sale in Los Angeles last year. So this is something that I think maybe never even hit the market. It's just a proto sample, but of course a slightly shrunken leather jacket is something that maybe many of you already own. It's not something that's too difficult to find, although this exact one may be one of a kind. I'm not entirely sure. It's also something that's very versatile. You can just throw it on top of almost anything and it's gonna look good. But again, I think that that's true of many a leather jacket out there. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the looks that I made, the little lookbook that I put together. So I went in order, the order that I just presented to you of the garments, starting with the dress. So my favorite way to wear this vintage linen dress is to just throw it on with a little pair of sneakers that have kind of a low profile. I love these bright white sneakers. They're really comfortable and easy, and I think that they look really decent with the dress. I always used to be a little bit leery of wearing sneakers and dresses, and these days I feel like I've figured out how to make it work. So I do feel like it works well, just the sneakers and the dress, and that's it, and I could like grab a handbag and be out the door. But because this is a transitional lookbook and I'm trying to figure out how I could make these garments work for kind of different weather, I styled this dress with the sneakers with a big, comfy, super warm blanket scarf. And this is the trick that I'll often do, especially when it's not super cold, but it's a little bit too nippy to go out in something that's short sleeved without wearing another layer. Sometimes instead of dragging along like a cardigan or a jacket, which can be kind of unwieldy and you're always taking it off and putting it on, sometimes I'll just add this really big, comfy wool scarf because it adds a significant amount of warmth. And sometimes I find that if there's a nip in the air, even if my arms and legs are bare, if my neck is all bundled up and cozy, then I'm warm enough. And I do think it's a super cool look to have a somewhat summery looking outfit on, but have a big chunky scarf keeping you warm. But I also wanted to show how a dress like this could work if it really is colder, like too cold for just the scarf and the bare legs and the bare arms. So for the second outfit, I styled this dress with a pair of tights and I threw that big warm oversized sweater on over top of it. Layering an oversized sweater over a dress can really help you get more mileage out of that dress. And it doesn't even have to be an oversized sweater. You can layer any sweater that you like over a dress to get a new look out of it. I just happen to really like that oversized sweater look, and I do like the slouchiness of the oversized sweater going into the sweep of the A-line skirt of the dress. The other thing that I did with this outfit is that I put on some sandals over my tights instead of wearing it with boots. I'm sure that this outfit would look great with boots and would look very fall appropriate, but I really, really love that look of a sandal over top of a tight. I feel like it brings a little edginess to a look that might otherwise not have an edge. So for the purposes of my 10 outfits, those are the two ways that I styled this dress, but I also took some footage of the way that this outfit would look if I was wearing some fun summer slides with the sweater and the dress instead of the tights and the sandals, and also how it looks with sneakers, because I think that there's a quirkiness to like looking like you're in one season from the knees down and like you're in another season from the knees up that can be really special. That's something that people often badmouth. They're like, oh, it's awkward, like these are summer shoes, but you're wearing a sweater. But I think that if you do it with confidence, it can really be cool. It can really give you like a little cozy special something something. There's this incongruousness about it. And if you put that incongruousness forward as your style, it can take you places. So I really like the way that this looks with those ridiculous pointed palm print slides. And I also like the way that it looks with sneakers. A little bit simpler, a little bit sportier, but you still have that contrast of the chunky oversized sweater with the bare legs. So for the next outfit, I styled these high-waisted cream colored pants with the ruffled blouse. This was just a softball, super easy one. This is a great fall outfit for a day that maybe is a little bit nippy, like not hot, but not super cool either, because it's just, you know, a long sleeve, thin cotton blouse. I think that it looks great. I would definitely go out and about like this without another layer. And I think that, you know, having the arms covered really goes a long way to keeping the edge off of that chill. But this outfit would also look great with a jacket if you wanted to throw a jacket on over it, or a scarf. I think it looks its best though just simply styled, the shirt, the pants, and a handbag. And of course, I could not help but put this printed skirt on with this printed blouse. This is probably the most ambitious print mixing that I do in this 10 by 10. There aren't that many printed pieces, so actually this is like the only available print mixing. And it's not like the most flawless, you know, chef's kiss print mixing that I've ever done or that I've ever seen, but I did want to show it to you because I do think it still works. I think that it's easier to mix prints than people think that it is. Both of the prints are graphic, neither one of them is a floral. They're roughly the same size, right? They're both kind of like a mid-size. Neither one of them is super tiny, neither one of them is a huge print. So they've got a lot in common, even though the background of one is black and the other is white. They both still have that blue in them. As prints, when you break it down, you break down their qualities, they have a lot in common. So even though they clash, they still kind of live together. It's like they kind of come from the same family in all of these many ways. And I think that that's what makes it work. The other thing that I think helped this to work is that I put on a printed shoe. I changed into my printed boots. And sometimes when you feel like there's a little bit too much going on in your outfit, the secret can be to add a little something more. It's like you go over the tipping point and everything sort of mellows out together. And I think that the printed boots with these two prints kind of helped that happen in the case of this outfit. Probably the chicest and easiest way to wear this blouse though is with these gold jeans, these ripped jeans. They just look so effortless together, this blouse and these jeans. And I went ahead and threw on the heeled sandals as well, just to elevate the outfit a little. That's something that I quite love. This is one of the most casual outfits that I put together. And all of the ones with the jeans are the most casual ones. And the best way to elevate an outfit that's being made casual by a pair of jeans like this, especially a pair of distressed or destroyed jeans, is to throw on a pair of heels. The next outfit puts the floaty white blouse together with the black jeans. So it's a similar idea, but you can see how the slouchy, oversized nature of this white blouse, its floatiness, its sheerness, the fact that it's a bit unstructured, those qualities make this outfit feel a little bit more casual than the one with the more structured blouse felt. You might also notice that I'm wearing a black bra. That's by design. I love the look of a black bra underneath a sheer white shirt. I think there's something really special about that, and it especially works if you're wearing black elsewhere in your outfit. So the bra, which you can kind of see sometimes through the sheerness of the shirt, matches the jeans, and it also matches the jacket that I ended up throwing on to complete this outfit. I also love the way that this soft, floaty, oversized blouse looks with these dramatic, high-waisted, cream-colored pants. I'm sure it would have looked fine tucked in, but I decided to lean into the kind of floaty on top and floaty on bottom look and just leave it untucked and kind of let it all flow from the shoulders down to the floor, almost like a dress, even though it's a top and pants. The effect, the floaty, blousy, oversized effect is almost like a dress. But as soon as I had this outfit on, I felt compelled to pull my hair back. It's not a super sleek bun because I don't have really sleek hair, but it definitely helped me feel a little bit more polished and put together, a little bit more streamlined from the neck up, and I felt like that helped to balance out the blousiness and looseness and softness of the rest of the look. To complete this look for fall, I added my blanket scarf. Again, it would help me stay warm if there's a little bit of a nip in the air, and also it goes with the flowiness and blousiness and looseness, the general softness of this look. And then the next outfit, even though it utilizes the same pair of pants, is by contrast very sharp and smart looking. I love a fitted turtleneck. I love a turtleneck for making me feel a little bit sophisticated. And I particularly love a semi-sheer turtleneck because you've got the sophistication and the coverage of the fact that the top comes all the way up to your neck, but then you've got kind of the sexy aspect because it's sheer. A semi-sheer fine wool turtleneck is like one of my favorite garments that exists. I know that turtlenecks can be a little bit contentious. There are people who struggle with figuring out how to wear them. One of the other tricks I feel for a turtleneck is to tuck it into something high-waisted. That can really help it to look fresher, a little bit more sleek, and make it feel like the sophisticated garment that it is. I finished this look with a shrunken leather jacket and with a cute bag, and I do think it ended up looking actually kind of utilitarian in its way. And then I could not help myself. I paired that orange turtleneck with that printed skirt. The skirt has a really stretchy waistband, so it kind of makes its own belt. And so I was able to put it on over the turtleneck, get a really defined waistline, and it did look cute with the sneakers. I wouldn't not wear it with the sneakers, but I decided to go the extra mile and put on some beautiful, sleek nude heels. This is the kind of thing that I could see myself wearing if I had an event, if I was doing this 10 by 10 project and I had to go to something formal or semi-formal, some kind of, office holiday party or any kind of dinner or something like that. I feel like this would work. The turtleneck really works as like a day to night. It can look casual, it can be elevated. The shoes really help. The skirt really helps with that. I feel like it was really fun to see how good that turtleneck looked in an outfit with trousers and something more daytime, and how good it can also look in this slightly more fancy feeling iteration. But for this 10 by 10, I also wanted to show that you can dress down a skirt like this. So I did that by layering a softer, more unstructured piece over top of it, this beautiful felt top. I also put on some black boots, some black ankle boots. Those are, like fall workhorses, and made the whole thing look like I'm, I don't know, walking to the bookstore, like maybe going to get coffee, even going to class or something in a look like this. The skirt is fun, but it doesn't look like the kind of crazy formal showpiece that it looked like when it was paired with the orange turtleneck. This felt top, of course, also looks great with the white trousers. That's another kind of softball, just like really easy, effortless, easy to wear, comfortable, looks sophisticated, pretty simple, clean lines. I think that this one looks really good. And then, of course, the moment you've all been waiting for, well, this is the moment that I was waiting for since the beginning of this lookbook, this soft, oversized, slouchy, warm sweater in a neutral color with these soft, oversized, felty, high-waisted pants. I just think that this is such a knockout outfit, and there's something about it that can look formal, like can look really quite put together and polished, but can also look really casual. And I love it when outfits have both of those, like when they can go either way, because then I feel like I'm going to feel really comfortable even in a more professional or polished setting. And I'm also going to feel really put together even in a more casual setting. And for the final outfit, I really dressed down this slouchy oversized sweater by putting it with my distressed jeans, my flat boots, and that scarf. A big chunky sweater and a big blanket scarf I find are often almost as good as, if not as good as, a piece of outerwear. So I definitely wanted to show how those things can be styled together. I really like this chunky, cozy, casual outfit. If you've been counting, then you might have noticed that I ended up with like 13 or 14 outfits, depending on how you count them. I think there are even more if you consider that me styling the dress with the flats and then with the sneakers were like two different ones, but I didn't count it that way. Even if you're officially counting though, I think it was more than 10, and I kind of felt like I could have kept going. This project really, really showed me the versatility of some of the pieces in my wardrobe and showed me that the first way that I might instinctively think of styling a piece is not necessarily the best way or the only way, and that if I keep pushing myself to combine things in different ways, I might come up with awesome outfits that I wouldn't have thought of before. So let's talk about the takeaways that you might be able to apply with what you own, even if you have different garments from me or you have a different style from me, different body type, etc. One thing that I already talked about is layering a sweater over a dress. This is one of the ways that you can take your summer dresses, if you've been enjoying wearing them, into fall. I really like a big, slouchy, oversized sweater. You could even use an oversized sweatshirt, especially if you're going for a more casual look. But you could also use something fitted, like a nice fitted cardigan over top of a dress to define your waist or just to make it look like separates. One strategy that kind of goes hand in hand with that is mixing fall colors and textures in with summer prints or summer colors and summer textures, again, to get more out of your wardrobe. So I feel like the outfit that I had that exemplified that the most was when I wore that grayish green felty top over the flowy silk skirt. Even if that skirt had been aggressively summery, like really floral and lightweight, it could still have worked with that fall colored, fall feeling felted top, and the outfit would have felt more fall appropriate. And it would also have been warmer and easier to wear in the fall. Another way to execute this strategy is by putting on a pair of tights underneath a dress that you might not usually think of wearing in the fall. I wore tights underneath my heavyweight linen dress, and linen is definitely a fabric that you usually think of as more of a spring or summer fabric, but I feel like it really works as like a cozy fall fabric with tights. This is also a way to bring some of your summer shoes into fall along with your dresses. By putting the shoes on over tights, it makes it more of a cozy textural fall thing. Another takeaway that you might be able to turn into a strategy that you could go ahead and apply using the garments you already own is the beige on beige or white on white or beige on white, this sort of like semi-monochromatic neutrals outfit. Sometimes two otherwise boring or simply cut garments can become really chic and elevated when they're the same color and you layer them together. Another thing I talked about was the idea of using a sleek updo or a ponytail to balance out an otherwise drapey or oversized outfit. I also talked about using heels to do this, right? Using heels to elevate and kind of give a little bit of structure to an otherwise pretty casual or even distressed looking outfit. Lastly, we talked about mixing prints to keep things fresh and make a statement. And we also talked about wearing a black bra underneath a semi-sheer white shirt, which is something I really love doing. And if you've never done that and you're a person who wears a bra, I would recommend giving that a try. So those are the things that spring immediately to my mind in terms of general takeaways, but I'd love to know if there are any others that came to your mind that I didn't point out. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching my 10 by 10 style challenge video. I've got to tell you, it really worked. It really worked. There were a number of combinations that I just wouldn't have come up with on my own. I wouldn't have thought of it unless I had been sitting down and being like, how many ways can I make these things work together? Which is what I was doing. I picked these 10 things and then I was like, okay, does this go with this? Does this go with this? Like just going through the paces, putting those constraints on myself and going through the paces caused me to come up with a bunch of combinations and a bunch of silhouettes that I just wouldn't ever otherwise have come up with, and all just with, these 10 garments. So it works beautifully. It's really fun. If you're even considering giving it a try for yourself, I highly recommend following through with it. Again, even if you're not going to be able to immediately wear the outfits, it's so fun, it's so gratifying, and it is definitely a way to develop a deeper appreciation for the things that are in your closet. So highly recommended. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And don't forget to take extra good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.